More very, very big news has come out this week. Very big news. This is up there with the Lewis moving to Ferrari stuff.
It's as big as Lewis Hamilton moving to Ferrari.
It's huge. Go on, Jay. What is it?
Adrian Newey, and I mean, to be fair, everyone who's listened should have heard about this.
We hope you've heard of who Adrian Newey is.
Yeah, Adrian Newey is leaving Red Bull.
This is massive.
Huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
A huge blow to Red Bull.
Yeah.
And we've heard that it's a little bit, we've heard it's about the Christian Horner situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know all the specifics, which is probably a good thing. It's probably good that they've kept that to themselves and they've investigated that. Unless it's come out. Has it come out? I haven't read.
There's little bits that come out here and there. I think, there's little bits that come out. Adrian Newey has said he is sick of the power struggle at Red Bull.
Interesting.
And he said that he wants to leave.
Okay.
The reason why this is so big, and for those who don't know, but yeah, Adrian Newey is the lead designer at Red Bull, but he's also the most decorated man in Formula One.
Yeah, he's a genius.
He's the most decorated man.
A genius.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He sees in like Venturi tunnels or something. He literally just sees in like airflow. I don't think he's human.
It's unbelievable.
But we looked it up. He has 12 constructors, 13 drivers. 12 constructors, 13 drivers, and those are.
Could you name? Yeah, JJ. Could you name? It's just a challenge. You might.
Yeah, I'll see if I can name it.
Give it a go.
2023 constructors and drivers. 2022 constructors and drivers with Max. 2021 drivers
with Max.
2013 constructors and drivers
with Vettel.
2012 constructors and drivers. 2011 constructors and drivers. 2010 constructors and drivers with Vettel.
Both with Vettel.
1999 constructors and drivers
with
McLaren and Mika Hakkinen. Is it not?
Just the drivers.
Just the drivers in 1999. Okay.
With Hakkinen.
With Hakkinen. So Ferrari with Eddie Irvine and Schumacher won that one. 1998 was Hakkinen World Championship drivers, and I'm going to say him and David Coulthard won constructors as well. Yeah. Now this is where it gets a bit. So how many have I named off so far? So I've named 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers and 7 constructors so far. So there's championships he won where he didn't have a drivers' world championship. That must be in like the Tyrrell days, right? In like back in like the ground effects. I want to say like 1970s or 80s. Everything's in the 90s. Okay, so he would have worked on the Williams. Who else did he win with? So Williams was in 1994 constructors, but Prost won in the Ferrari, right? 1994, just constructors. Yeah, okay, 1994. 1993, he won the drivers and constructors. There's no way he worked on the Benetton, did he? He wasn't part of the Benetton team. Okay. 1992 was it Williams again? Was he McLaren? Was he 1991 with the McLaren? No. Was he again? Was it Williams again? 1992, drivers and constructors. Was that Mansell and yeah. And then is it one more? How many have I got left? Well, I guess is it 1991 Williams again?
1997.
Oh, Jacques Villeneuve, 1997 Williams constructors and drivers.
If you're wondering who the other, Kieran doesn't have a mic, but JJ was talking to Kieran.
Oh,
just in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Can I just say that is even like you did struggle. That is still, that knowledge is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's not like do you know what I mean? Like obviously, like you didn't know every single one, but my goodness, mate, that knowledge is incredible.
It was close.
It was very, and it was educated. There was some very good educated guesses in there as well.
Cool.
Well played, mate. Well played.
Thank you.
Very impressed with that. Anyway, he is incredible.
Yeah.
Adrian Newey is incredible.
And a big reason why he's done so well with Red Bull now is because he's the only lead engineer who worked on the ground effect cars back in the 80s, which is why I thought with Tyrrell, that's when he was working with them. So Adrian Newey is, I think, Lotus or Tyrrell, one or the other. But Adrian Newey is the most decorated person on the grid.
Yeah.
And to announce he's leaving a team
Yeah.
Like Red Bull are in the mud, to be honest.
This could be the downfall of Red Bull.
Yeah. So
really good.
Really, and also, so to put this into context,
I didn't want to. I sounded really way too happy there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm really sad for them.
No. We want all teams to be competitive, but we don't want one team to be dominating too much. But Red Bull have already been complaining about the engines and saying that the engines are not good for 2026. They're going to be like shocking, and they've got Red Bull powertrains. So I have a feeling that Red Bull powertrains are going to be underpowered. That's why they're already complaining and trying to get them changed.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Adrian Newey leaving before the chassis regulations are finalized, meaning that he's not going to have an impact on a new team. You've got Max Verstappen now potentially leaving because he is part of that power struggle.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that.
And all of this is happening because Christian Horner is not leaving. Like, right. If you're Red Bull, you either lose one of the best drivers ever, the greatest engineer ever, or you lose a team principal, which, they're big.
No, you have to give Christian Horner.
Christian Horner does like so much work, so much PR. He's a great team.
And how many championships has he got under his belt?
Yeah, so he'll have
the 7 or 8, whatever it is, and a couple of constructors or whatever.
He'll have.
I mean, come on, like.
Yeah, he's a very, very well decorated guy.
Yeah,
but out of those three, like Adrian Newey, irreplaceable. No one on the grid's as good as Max, apart from Hamilton potentially, but he's old. Max is quite young.
Max is still young and fresh.
Okay, no, you can't replace Max Verstappen.
There's no one.
Adrian Newey. Out of them, Christian Horner is probably the most replaceable.
Yes, he is, but only I still wouldn't say there's a lot in there.
Yeah,
considering how much he's done for Red Bull.
But if you add up Max Verstappen and Max Verstappen and Adrian Newey as a package is head and shoulders above Horner.
Yeah.
If you had to pick between losing two or losing one.
Of course.
So, and they refuse.
So what are you expecting? You think that Horner should step down or that Red Bull should sack him?
I am saying that I think Christian Horner has some dirt on Red Bull, which is why they haven't fired him.
Ooh, that's a big statement. That's a big statement.
Think about it. If you're going to lose Max Verstappen and you're going to lose Adrian Newey, and you're still refusing to fire the team principal, what does that team principal have on you?
God, it's a conspiracy.
It's a big F1 conspiracy, a massive F1 conspiracy. But he must have something. He must have something.
Maybe.
It's I don't know. It's like his whole scandal has caused so much, like Red Bull is breaking up on the inside because of his scandal. And the easy solution would have been to ask him to step down or get him fired.
True. And that would have solved pretty much everything.
It would have solved everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get it. Horner, like he's top two. He's number one team principal, to be fair to him now.
Yeah, 100%.
Him, Vasseur, and Toto Wolff, probably the three best on the grid.
Yeah.
But actually, that's then the McLaren guy as well. I've forgotten his name, but anyway, he's pretty irreplaceable.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that Christian Horner has something. I think he has.
To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if his time's limited.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
Do you think he's gone?
Possibly. I'd put it at like 60% that he might be out the door, mainly because I mean, realistically, if you are, I mean, what? With all of this happening, with the engine issues, with Adrian Newey, like, I mean, you've got no backing now. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing that's, apart from maybe being a good guy. Like,
Ford's trying to pull out. That's another thing, actually. Ford are trying to pull out. Adrian Newey's leaving. Max Verstappen might leave.
So weird.
You're having issues with the engine already.
Yeah.
And, I
mean, I think stepping down is probably the best. It's probably the best time. Obviously, they'll win the championship this year and step down at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That would, and then to be fair, he can probably put his hands up and go, I was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you go, fair play to you, mate.
Won a total of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. He would have won 15 World Championships joined together.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's quite a big, that is
quite a portfolio from a team that he started in 2006. From an energy drink. So to be fair to Christian Horner, an energy drinks company, you start like racing team in 2006. And then you go on to win 4 back-to-back world titles, 3 back-to-back drivers titles.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Very
well.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes that's not said enough.
Yeah.
How good he actually is.
Yeah. But I mean, if you've got Ford leaving, you've got your head designer leaving, you've got potentially Max Verstappen leaving. I think you step down, or you have so much dirt on Red Bull,
Yeah.
you can't leave.
That you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's Adrian Newey going to do?
So
Oh,
okay. So
okay. No, this could
Adrian Newey.
this could be the best thing to ever happen in Formula One.
Adrian Newey was spotted in about 40 kilometers away from Maranello.
Yeah, cool.
He'd flown in, and this was a week ago before this was all announced, by the way.
Okay.
So
this could be
he could be going Ferrari.
Could you imagine?
Do you think Fred Vasseur could pull it off?
Lewis and
If he pulls
Adrian
off,
Newey in the same season?
Fred Vasseur could have pulled off re-signing Leclerc onto a multi-year deal, signing Hamilton up to a 2-year deal from Mercedes. He was never going to leave.
Yeah.
And if he bags Adrian Newey as well,
it's the rise of Ferrari again.
honestly, he's the GOAT. If he pulls that off, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tricky though.
I mean, if he
even with Adrian Newey, it's still going to take. Surely it's going to take a little bit of time, at least maybe a season or something to.
well, it would be for 2026. He won't have any impact on the 2025 car.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
But I saw a meme and it was like, Carlos Sainz when he had his appendix.
Yeah.
And he was walking really slow, but it looked like really stiff.
Mm.
And like he basically looked like he was holding in a shit.
Yeah.
I saw this meme and it was Adrian Newey walking out the Red Bull facilities with the 2026 plans in his bum. And he's like clenched, prodding along. He probably
that's some of the stuff
Some of the memes
online.
amazing.
The memes are so good.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff's brilliant.
But yeah, Vasseur could be the GOAT. If he pulls it off. If he pulls it off.
And if obviously, like, if you're a Lewis fan like we are, if he was to like win a championship with Ferrari, that would just be it could genuinely be the pinnacle of the career, like our fan careers. Oh man, that would be amazing.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, we won't think that far ahead. Let's not get our hopes up like that.
Okay, let's talk about other places he can go. So, because there's 3 spots really who would pay Adrian Newey like
the money
to go, because you can pay them unlimited money because it's not part of the budget cap.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking, because to be honest, I don't know what's going on.
It's 4 places. I mean, all the top teams.
Okay. Yeah. So you're thinking Aston Martin.
Well, Aston Martin have outwardly said they want him.
Yeah.
Mercedes,
McLaren,
Audi project.
That's not. Yeah.
He could join on the Audi project.
Maybe he wants a fresh start. Maybe he wants a fresh thing, fresh team. Completely new. Yeah, maybe.
Looking at the facts, so he's said before he wants to work with Ferrari.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Mercedes have James Vowles there, and they brought him back.
Oh yeah, I think James
Vowles is a great technical developer.
Yeah,
hasn't had enough time with this car. They always said 2020. Well, they said end of 2024 to 2025 is when he'll have more of an impact on the car.
Yeah.
So I don't see James Vowles leaving. I don't even know who Aston Martin's chief technical director is, but Aston Martin definitely.
Yeah.
They will be pushing for him.
Yeah.
Does Adrian Newey want to have to design a car for Stroll?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you think the driver's putting him off there?
I think if you got the chance to design a car for Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Yeah. But
it just depends on where he is.
I think Aston Martin seem like, for engineers, for everyone, there seems to be a lot of want for people to go to Aston Martin. He's done the Valkyrie. He literally designed the Valkyrie.
Yeah. Is there a part of you that would... Is there a part of you that thinks that he could just pack it in?
No. I think I think...
You think he loves it too much?
Yeah.
He's just... Oh, okay. Yeah. So he wouldn't retire?
I don't see him retiring.
Okay.
No.
Because he could just retire and call it a day and go, yeah, I've done my job.
I think he's almost, I won't say in his prime, he's so far ahead of the other designers at the moment in this ground effects era. It'd be like Prime Verstappen walking away.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
and then so you think Aston Martin, so if you were to put that, so you think...
I think the 3 most likely places he's going to be going.
Yeah.
So Adrian Newey could go one of 3 places. He can go Ferrari.
Yeah.
He can go Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Or he can go the Audi project.
Okay.
I think those 3.
What you think is the most likely. Yeah. Cool.
But then I think that would be going... Is Andreas Seidel, is he team principal or is he... I'm not sure if he's chief technical director.
No idea.
No idea. But actually, could you look that up? What does Andreas Seidel do? Kieran's just going to look that up while we're looking at it. But I think, to be fair, I do think that the 3 places he can go is
those.
How would you rank them?
If I was in his shoes?
Yeah, if you were Adrian Newey and you had to pick between Aston Martin, Ferrari, and Audi.
It's hard because obviously I'm not in his shoes and I've not done what he's done. And obviously I'm a little bit biased because I'd want him to go to Ferrari with Lewis.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on his mindset of, does he want something completely new? Does he want to be with the biggest and best, well, depending on how you think, the biggest and best team in Formula One?
Yeah.
The most history, the most loved.
Yeah. Most world championships. Biggest team. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. If I was him, I would go to Ferrari. I feel like there's no negatives to going to Ferrari at all. Do you know what I mean? You've got the drivers that you know are going to be able to push your car to the limits. Yeah. You'll be with a 7-time world champion, 8-time world champion, 7-time world championship driver. And the greatest team.
Yeah.
And the most, And just the idea of taking Ferrari back to that number 1 spot again would just be, surely that would be the pinnacle of his career. Do you know what I mean? As well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if it was me, I would say Ferrari, and then I would probably say Audi, then I would say Aston Martin on my 3.
Yeah. I think the downsides of Ferrari, right, are are you going from one power struggle team to another team where the overheads like to make a bit of a decision?
Okay.
He left. So the reason why Adrian Newey left McLaren for the Red Bull project in 2006 was because of the fact that McLaren were trying to implement this 3-pronged structure where you'd have Adrian Newey, but you'd have 2 people who are alongside him, and all 3 you'd have basically have to vote out. So it'd be a 2v1 for every decision.
Okay.
And Adrian Newey left McLaren because he was like, I'm not doing that, and then left for Red Bull. And then
that's interesting. So what did he want? Did you know?
He just wanted to be the
just one guy. Person.
Yeah. Okay. And so people don't know, but in 2005, they were the fastest car. They just were the most unreliable car. And in 2006, they launched a car, and it actually just broke completely. And then they had to revert back, and then they launched it again later in the season, and it was the fastest car again.
Okay.
So he was still doing the best work. They just tried to implement the structure, and he was like, no, and then left for Red Bull.
Okay, so clearly that's an issue for him.
And then it was like 3 years, and then 2009 onwards, they were pretty much the best car. It was just Braun had such a good start in 2009 that Red Bull couldn't catch them up.
Couldn't catch up.
But
okay.
And then they had the best chassis. Oh, I'm thinking about it now. You look at Red Bull's history from 2009 onwards, they had pretty much the best chassis for every season but 2017 and 18. And then 2019 again, they probably had the best chassis. 2017 to 2020, they didn't have the best chassis. But I don't know where I'm going with this. Pretty much.
No, I'm glad you're saying it. It's all interesting.
Yeah.
keep talking because it's good.
Basically speaking, if he goes to Ferrari, you could potentially be going into another bit of a power struggle. But Fred Vasseur seems to have
settled that slightly.
Settled it. He seems to be taking more control over that.
Okay.
It just seems like he's more on the wheel compared to Binotto.
Yeah.
And it seems like the directors have more of a more of a trust in him as well.
Yeah. They do seem more settled, don't they, for this year?
Yeah.
They really, really do.
Yeah.
So what would your order be? Go on.
So that's the downside for Ferrari. Audi is a complete unknown. You realistically don't know what you're going into.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how the team's going to be run properly. It's just a complete unknown. Audi said they want to be fighting for world championships in 3 seasons. So you're basically saying, okay,
that's an ask, isn't it?
That is an ask, yeah. But you're saying basically from 2026 to 2029, that's when you're going to start doing. So you're going to be taking a lull in your career, almost, is what you're sort of planning for. Also, you've got to then go to a very uncompetitive team for 2025. Like, how attractive really is Kick Sauber right now?
And
he has to do a whole season of that. That's probably kind of sucky.
Yeah.
And then Aston Martin, you've got Lawrence Stroll. You know, you're always going to have Stroll in the car. Adrian Newey likes to design quite hyper oversteer cars, but Alonso was typically extremely understeer bias. So, and Stroll isn't talented enough to do what Verstappen can do, obviously. But I think Ferrari is the best choice.
Yeah.
I think Ferrari, you got the best drivers, you got the history, the prestige, wearing Ferrari red, designing a world championship winning car for Ferrari. That's everyone's dream.
Yeah, that is everyone's dream.
So I would put it Ferrari, Audi, Aston Martin, same as
me. Interesting. I thought you were going to go the other way around with the Aston Martin and the.
I think the biggest thing for me is 2025 looks quite a turn off. Yeah, actually, okay. I'm going to go Ferrari, Aston Martin, Audi.
Okay, so
yeah.
Your insight there was pretty incredible.